Attorney General Bill Barr has now received the report from Special Counsel Robert Mueller. The investigation, 675 days old, is now over.
After a long investigation, it was just announced there was no collusion with Russia, the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. There was no collusion with Russia. There was no obstruction and none whatsoever. And it was a complete and total exoneration.
This is really good news for a lot of people around Donald Trump.
The Mueller probe comes in. No collusion, no chargeable crimes, and they're focusing in on this thing not exonerated. Prosecutors don't write exoneration letters, do they?
Right, no, they don't. And in fact, look, the Democrats claim falls flat because we know that Robert Mueller is not shy. If he wanted to charge President Trump with something, he would have.
Let's ask a very basic question. If he is without question not guilty of collusion, which the Barr summary quoted the Mueller report verbatim, and Mueller went out of his way to not say that he may have been guilty of collusion, but we couldn't find the evidence to do it. He went out of his way to say there is zero evidence to demonstrate any form of collusion. It's a great week for Trump.
It's a great week for Trump, and if you ask me, it's a great week for America.
Amen.
Yeah.
Because at some point, you would think that someone would say, hey, you know what? We went up this guy's anal cavity and his family and everyone he knows and 500 and 2,000. Why don't we just all come to the table and say, okay, there was no Russian collusion. In the next 2 years, let's do something good like infrastructure.
6 different Democratic committee chairs, and they're pushing Bill Barr, demanding he submit Mueller's full report.
Judge, in your experience, is a special counsel like Robert Mueller charged with weighing in on exoneration?
My understanding is that he's not.
Is the left twisting this thing, or should Mueller have been charged with coming out and saying he's exonerated?
Well, I think the hard part is that everybody kind of forgot what the mission was as we waited for however many months it was, nearly a year, and there were lots of other indictments, and there were something like 2,400 subpoenas that were issued. So the report was enormously detailed. We haven't seen it. So we're still guessing what tomorrow's lottery numbers will be. And if I win, I'm not telling you guys what the numbers are going to be. But we're still kind of guessing because Barr has not yet released the report. Assume he releases the report, generally speaking, unredacted, we'll have a better sense of that. But to your point, I think we lost a little bit of what the original mission was. As we talked about it with nothing to say for so long, we ran out of topics and we just kind of started guessing where it was going to be.
A lot of people view this as a total exoneration of the president. Some people say maybe don't start popping champagne too quickly. You still have all these congressional investigations. You have all these New York prosecutors. What do you think, politically?
I think it's over. I think it's that simple. Over. 10 count, 2 years, $30 million. We've had Jerome Corsi on, we have had Roger Stone on, and all these people have been telling us no collusion. We're right in the middle of it. And now Mueller says the same. I think it's dead. I don't know. What do you think?
It's so interesting that you mentioned Dr. Corsi, and it's so astute of you. Not only was he a guest on the show, and I realize he's a little wacky, but this is a guy who they wanted to plead guilty to a crime. They handed him a signed plea agreement for him to say, yes, I'm guilty of these crimes. And then when he wouldn't do it, they said, all right, we're going to threaten you with prosecution. So they were willing, these prosecutors were willing to accept a plea agreement from someone that there wasn't even enough evidence to charge with a crime. Now think of how frightening that is, that prosecutors working for you are willing to take a signed declaration of I committed a crime, even though they won't even charge you with a crime.
The left is in Looneyville right now because they can't believe that Mueller found no collusion. What's the Deal will be back in your living room on your TV next Sunday. We'll see you next week.